It's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with the Rogue Market Episode 3 for January 2013, Part 3. There's a lot of parts in this. I'm actually going to focus quite a bit on the market side of Magic the Gathering this week, as I am kind of burned out with Standard and a little bit of Modern at the moment. Just waiting for the gate crash spoilers to finally be completely spoiled before I start brewing again. And anyway, so I'm going to focus a lot on kind of the financial aspect, because this is the prime time to get geared for gate crash on, which cards you should make your moves on right now. This is the last opportunity you'll have before they will start to spike or decrease. So I'm going to review episode 2, which was December's episode, and the picks that I made, and see where they are at today, and suggest whether to continue to buy into these cards or maybe if it's the right time to sell. The first of this card was Garruk Relentless. At the time of my prediction, it was sitting at $12, and I said this was way too cheap for this card. It is going to see play somewhere. It's going to find a home. And lo and behold, it did kind of find a home in these Golgari aggro decks or green aggro decks with the Predatory Ooze and or Predator Ooze, I guess is what it's called, and the trackers. So we did see a small increase from 12 to 15. So I'm going to consider that kind of a hit. It did go up in value. If you would have invested in these when I suggested, you would have a small increase. Of course, it's not the best increase that you could have made, but it is an increase nevertheless. I'm not too sure about this card. It is sat around this value now for over a year, around this $15 value range. I don't see it going down unless it absolutely does not find a home, but I also don't see it going up too much. It could hit $20. $18 is more realistic. I wouldn't put my money on Garruk right now, but I don't think ditching it would be the right move either. Especially if you're not using it in a deck, yeah, you can sure trade it off at 15 right now for cards that you think you might need or might have a better chance of going up in value. But you don't need to dump it right now. I do not see it going down in value. Like I said, it is being played in a few decks. I could see it find a home in Gruul, especially with Domri. It works pretty well with that Planeswalker. Other than I hate that Planeswalker, and I'm getting a lot of flack for it. A lot of people are calling me the biggest noob ever, because apparently Domri Rade is the best Planeswalker ever printed in some people's minds. But I just don't like a card that is going to miss most of the time. I think the math, if you even if you're running just one of Domri Rade and 38% lands like you usually do, that leaves a good 60% of your, and no artifacts, no enchantments, no spells whatsoever, and you have 60% of your dedicated deck to creatures, you still are going to miss 1/3 of the time, and a little more than 1/3 of the time. So realistically thinking, when you build a deck and 38% is your land base, and you're running 4 copies of Domri Rade, so right there it's going to bring down your creature count, and you're just a few Searing Spears here or another Planeswalker there, you're down to less than 50% of your deck as being creatures, and you're going to miss most of the time with Domri Rade. And there has been an article about the math of Domri Rade card advantage, and it seems okay, and everyone's just talking about how great this ult is, but he's a Planeswalker. Every ult is amazing out of Planeswalkers, and you can't judge a Planeswalker based upon how good their ult is, when a lot of these ults are very hard to get off. And sure, I guess his isn't the hardest ult to get off, but it's very comparable with Sorin, Lord of Innistrad, or Liliana of the Veil. And a lot of times, and those when their ult goes off, it impacts the game right then and there. You don't have to have all these other scenarios with having to have the right creatures in play to get a good benefit from it and whatnot. So I'm not a fan of Domri Rade. Feel free in the comments to flame me away or agree with me, disagree about what you think about Domri Rade. How to even get off this topic to Domri Rade? Oh yeah, we're talking about Garruk Relentless. So yeah, he could find a deck in that Gruul deck, or find a home in that Gruul deck. He could find a home somewhere else. Seems like he's okay in Simic, but we'll see. On to the next prediction, which was Deathrite Shaman. At the time of prediction, it was $10, And this was the biggest no-brainer ever. And I still do think that Deathrite Shaman is going to increase in value. If Snapcaster Mage can stay at $25 to $30, then Deathrite Shaman could easily join him there, because I am going on a limb here and saying that Deathrite Shaman is seeing more play than Snapcaster Mage, if nothing else, equal play. It is everywhere in Modern, and I already did get criticized because I said maybe it's about time we have that conversation of Deathrite Shaman being a possible ban in Modern, because it is that amazing. It is, in my opinion, kind of warping that format. It is just such a great utility card all around. It's great against combo decks. It's great to accelerate your own deck. It's a lot of decks are just, when Burn is putting in Deathrite Shaman just for the Grim Lavamancer type ability, then he may be just a bit too powerful. But I hardly doubt they'll ever ban Deathrite Shaman in Modern. And I actually don't suggest it. I think it's a very flavorful card, and it's a card that we as Magic players like to play with. And it's not broken, I would say. So anywho, Deathrite Shaman is sitting at $15 right now, so it was a $5 increase in a month since I made this prediction, and I do not see this trend going anywhere. Personally, I've cut back trying to find Deathrite Shamans. I was trying to pick them up at 10, trying to pick them up at 12. A lot of people didn't want to trade them. And now at 15, I'm a little hesitant, as I think there are better venues. I'm still targeting that Inkwell Nexus until I have like 100 of them. But yeah, it's still a great investment. I see Deathrite Shaman hitting $30 in the near future. I don't see it going down, even though it's not very impactful right now in Standard. I don't see it going anywhere. We are adding a very, very pertinent land in Stomping Grounds with Deathrite Shaman in this Jund type deck. It makes it so it's another way to get a first turn Deathrite Shaman. So we could definitely see Deathrite Shaman having you come back in Jund. And yeah, I think we'll see Standard play somewhere. I actually do like it in Jund as well with Frights, with the Gruul leader, Borberos, or whatever his name is. That big giant dude, or Titan, or whatever he is. He seems pretty good, as you will want to be pitching lands, and then your Deathrite Shaman will have ways to use them. Anyway, on to the next card, which is Bonfire of the Damned. At the time of prediction, it was bottomed out at 25. I still think this is bottom, and it is still at 25, but it is seeing a ton of play in lots of decks. Naya, which I believe Naya, in my opinion, is the most popular deck right now in Standard, and is not going to go anywhere because its mana base is so bad without both Stomping Ground and Sacred Foundry. And next set, that gets fixed, and if Naya's a great deck right now, it's going to be that much better with Gatecrash. So I don't see Bonfire of the Damned going down. If anything, it's going to go back up to 30. I think it's going to go back up to 40 one more time before eventually gets phased out of Standard. So if you haven't picked up your Bonfire, I still think it's a great time to pick up your Bonfire of the Damned. Going on to number 4 is Angel of Serenity. Angel of Serenity, at the time of my prediction, was 20. It is hit 18. So I missed there. But 18, I am going to call this, and if I have to eat my words, I'll eat my words. This is its bottom. Now, as 18 is Angel Serenity's bottom, it is going to find a home. And it's going to especially find a home as long as Unburial Rites is in the format. And who knows what the next set, the next block after Innistrad rotates out, will have a great Reanimator spell or not. But I believe that Angel Serenity will find a home in Standard for as long as it's going to be in Standard, and 18 is a bargain. So if you haven't picked up your Angel Serenities, right now is probably as cheap as you're going to find them. I don't foresee a huge spike increase in the near future unless it does find a home. So that's something you definitely want to watch, whether it be Naya or Bant or any other white deck, an Unburial Rites, Frights deck or something. If it does find a home or not, then yeah, I'd definitely jump on picking up those Angel Serenities before they skyrocket back up to 30 or 35, which I do see them hitting at least once more in their Standard life span. On to the 5th card, Jace, Architect of Thought. This was a huge miss. This dude just decided to take the biggest dump ever in price. Went from 50 to 40 to 35 to 25, and then went from 25 to 18, and that's where it's sitting at. Good news is, though, it's seeing a little bit of play in Modern, and it's also seeing a bit of play in Standard as well. I still see it making deck lists here and there. Not as popular as it was. Still a very powerful card. If Lingering Souls becomes a big card, of course, Jace Architect I thought is a great answer to kind of these token aggro decks, as it does -1 each attack phase, which is great. Then they have to spend a lot of focus on trying to kill that Jace Architect Thought, where you can build your board presence and take over the game. So Jace lost $7 from my prediction, but I think this is his bottom. There's no way Jace is going to go down past 18. If Garruk Relentless can stay at 15 and is seeing way less play than Jace Architect of Thought, then Jace Architect of Thought is not going to go down any lower than that. And we've seen people just be stubborn with Planeswalkers to begin with. We've seen Planeswalkers that rarely see any play stay around the $15 mark just because people don't want to give them up. The casual appeal, the EDH appeal of Jace is still very high. 6 is Huntmaster of the Fells. This did see a price increase from 20 to 25 and is currently sold out on Star City. I think Huntmaster of the Fells has a long ways to go, up to 30, 35. Dark Ascension is one of the, out of all the sets, it is probably the least open in Standard right now, besides M13. Judging on my own pool of players here in Salt Lake, I would say Dark Ascension is the most ignored pack. So it could have that kind of M13 effect where the price is just increased based upon the supply of people not opening Dark Ascension. Innistrad is being open like crazy at the store that I play at, and I'd still say that Avacyn Restored is being open quite frequently as well. And of course, Return to Ravnica is a big time hit. So maybe Dark Ascension prices for Huntmaster of the Fells and some of the other Chase Mythics like Falconwrath Aristocrat will go up. Soren's not going to, as I've said in my episode before, because he is printed in a $20 dual deck. And that's probably another reasoning that Dark Ascension won't be open. One of the Chase Mythics is being printed in a dual deck, so why open it? Anyway, those are the 6 cards that I went over. Pretty good, I would say. Pretty average. A little over 50%. 4 hits, 2 misses, but those misses aren't horrible misses, as I do think they are going to recover. I expect Jace Architect of Thought to hit 30 at least one more time in his life. So if you picked him at 25, just be patient. They'll eventually get back up there. And Angel Serenity, same thing. I see her being $30 sometime in the near future. If you haven't picked it, best pickup, of course, is Deathrite Shaman. I still think to pick up Deathrite Shaman. I still think it's a great bargain at 15, as it is seeing play everywhere. This is Kevin from RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching. We'll have episode 3.4 soon.